Great morning, everyone. Great morning. Great morning. It is the day that the Lord has made. We are choosing to rejoice and to be glad in it. We say that the Lord is good and that his mercy endures throughout all generation. Great is his faithfulness to us. I am Angela Thornton. This is Wise Word Ministries. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Hello to those who are watching on the replay. We thank God for you as well. Hope you're having a good day, afternoon, morning, evening, sunshine and rain. Well, nobody likes the rain, but you know. Tasha Bean, good morning. Oh, your stuff is here. I forgot to tell you. Great morning, everybody. Good morning. Good mornings. So I want to talk about comparisons. Because if you are ever on social media, hunty, you know comparisons run rampant. Folk are telling you, don't do this, do this. I can show you how to earn six figures if you do this. I can show you how to lose 20 pounds in 5 days. If you want to look like this, you want this body, you can lose 50 pounds in 30 days. I'm here to tell you, you are not losing 20 pounds in 5 days, okay? And if you lose 20 pounds in 5 days, you will gain 25 pounds back in 3 days when you stop whatever craziness you was doing. Just trust me. Been on that hamster wheel. You are not losing 50 pounds in 30 days. Because if you do, one, it's not healthy. Two, you're going to gain back 73. Just here to tell you. So I got some workout peoples on here, Daisy and Jerry and Tasha. They can tell you 20 pounds in 5 days. I don't care what you're eating. It's not happening. It's not happening. It ain't happening. It ain't happening, Captain. But comparisons, you want your skin to look like this. Everybody got the latest, greatest oil to make your hair grow to your waist. Everybody don't want waist length hair. Yeah. Okay, back. You lose 50 pounds in 30 days, you're going to gain 73 back in 22 days. I'm trying to tell you. Everybody got the latest, greatest. Oh, you want long, thick hair. You want your hair. I got this cream, this oil work, this oil work. This is the latest, greatest. This is the oil. This is from the motherland. This is from that. You know, it's, you can get rid of wrinkles. Some of us age like sour milk in a hot desert sun. Some of us don't. But getting older is okay. There is an alternative to not getting older. It's called not being here. I don't care what you plump up in your lips. It doesn't matter. All the, I mean, certainly we do things to look our best, and that's fine. But if you're trying to look young, you can't be 64 and looking like you're 22. That's the math, not mathing. Don't compare yourself to this person who is telling you they're living large and they're driving and big house, nice car, fancy clothes, and purses do not make you happy. Don't compare. Scripture says, Proverbs 4:23, so above all, guard the affections of your heart. When you start comparing, you start denigrating yourself because either you think that you don't measure up or you think you're too good for them. Oh, oh, I couldn't be over there with those people. You shall not don't cover your neighbor's house. Don't covet your neighbor's wife or your neighbor's male servant or the female servant. And if they got an ox or a donkey, don't covet that either. Or anything that is your neighbor's. Exodus 20:17. Stop wanting what other folk have and want what God has for you and work to do that. Everybody is not going to be Bishop Jakes. We're not. We're not going to all be the latest, greatest televangelist, speaker. We don't all have that kind of cadence. It was him. I don't even think he been the truth. He don't even have a relationship with the truth. I don't think he know what truth is. He had made the comment that one of the VP's rallies, the one in Detroit, was AI. It was fake. He tweeted out, "We caught her. Fake. No one was there at the airport. It was all fake." And so a reporter said, well, there are multiple videos from multiple sources, not just media sources, but people who were there on the ground to prove that that is a false statement. What do you say about that? Well, I don't know who was there. I just know we've had the biggest crowds in politics in history. No one in history has ever had more crowds than we have. People talk about the size of our crowd. Sir, stop lying. Comparison. 2 Corinthians 10:12. Not that we dare to classify or compare ourselves with some of those who are commending themselves, but when they measure themselves by one another and compare themselves with one another, they are without understanding. Comparison leads to envy and jealousy. Stay in your lane. Do your something to do. I can compare myself all day long with Pam. I can't do with animals what Pam does with animals. I don't have that gene. I don't have that gene. I cannot compare and do what Baltimore does. My brain is not wired that way. I will call her and say, how we do this? Because she is an administrative guru. And so is Ed. I don't do that. But know what you do know how to do. I can't sing like Dr. Kim, Medicine Woman. I sing. I just don't sing like that. My singing is special. We cannot compare ourselves. Because are you seeking the approval of man or the approval of God? Are you trying to please man? Galatians 6:4 says, let each one test his own work, and then his reason to boast will be in himself alone and not in his neighbor. There is a difference between contentment and comparison. See, Ginger, I thought you was my friend. See, she talking about it's special. It's okay. Some take the desires as the feel, as you was referring to the feeling of desire. God will shape your heart so that it desires the right thing. We all come with our own gift. Nobody sings like me. It is a special gift from God. And we all come with our own gift. I take pride in my gift. You know, there are things I know I do well. I do well with words. I know that I can bake you a good pound cake. I can make you some good vanilla bean paste. There are things that I can do well. Hush, Jerry. It's a special gift. And so God see, Kim appreciates my singing voice. God will give you the right thing to desire. He's not. People say, well, God, the Lord will give me the desires of my heart. Stop comparing yourself. You want the body of that woman over there. No. You you're not gonna have, you're not gonna run like she carry. Your body not like that. You don't train like that. That ain't in you. I'm not athletic at all. Lord Choice sample. Send me your address, lady. Contentment, not comparison. See, the antidote to comparison is contentment. And contentment begins with a heart that is grateful. Isn't it good, Jerry? That vanilla bean paste is so good. Kim, I forgot. I got y'all's. It's been sitting here. God will shape your heart. If you are content, you're thankful for what you have right now. It doesn't mean that you don't desire more, you don't desire better, but you are not envying what others have. That's what causes thievery, and folk want to see. It was when they kneecapped Nancy Kerrigan. I don't know if y'all remember this many Winter Olympics ago, but Tanya Harding's team decided they was jealous of Nancy Kerrigan because she was a skater too, and she was getting all of the accolades. She was a little cute girl, svelte and graceful and elegant, and Tanya Harding was, built, and she was athletic but not at all graceful, and they didn't see her as the little all-American girl. So what they did before the Olympics is they kneecapped her. They literally hit the child in the knee with a hammer. They hit her in the knee with a hammer. You can come get it tomorrow. They hit her in the knee with a hammer because they spent so much time comparing themselves, comparing Nancy to Tanya, instead of Tanya just focusing on what she did well and what she did best. You remember that Ginger? They hit that girl in the knee right when she was going to go out and skate. The comparison trap makes you look inward. The comparison trap makes you focus on what you don't have and why you don't have it and how long it's been and why you still don't have it. It makes you start to think that you don't measure up, you're not good, God not gonna give it, so I got to go get it. I can't compete with her, so I'm gonna just bust her in the knee and we just take care of that. I'm gonna just hit in the knee. Huh? If you have a thankful heart and a grateful heart, it turns your attention. You know what? A Lifetime movie was made about it. You don't see what you don't lack. You see what you do have. You just like them burpees, don't you? Kidding. You just like them burpees. I keep telling y'all they're not from the Lord. Comparison can become ungodly. And I know it's difficult to avoid comparison. You look at yourself and you say, Lord, I'm 50, 40, 30, and this is all I have to show for it. It seems like we have gotten out of control in this age of social media. If you ever on Instagram or TikTok, I rarely go over to TikTok, but if you ever on Instagram, baby, it is difficult not to compare. When you see these people and they have all these followers and they have become influencers, and I'm like, who y'all influencing? And when you see little 10-year-olds, my friend's 10, 11-year-old niece talking about she wants her skin to look like some little girl that she's seen on TikTok, and she needed her mama to go buy her $200 worth of skincare products. Say what? Baby, her face doesn't look like that. Those are filters. Those are filters. Her face doesn't look like that. Her body doesn't look like that, precious. Those are filters and silicone and surgeries. They don't look like that. And so you start to compare yourself and think that you're not good enough. And it is an insult to God. I need my weight. I need my waist snatched. Your body might not be built like a figure eight. You might have an apple body or a triangle. Oh, I need some bigger breasts. So you go buy some of somebody else with big breasts trying to get them hacked down because they hurt. Oh, I need a butt. I got something to give you. I got extra. Then you go buy it. And then when you with somebody and you start taking off all the stuff, the pads that you didn't add it on, they be like, well, Lord, who this? Who that? Everybody's not going to be a size 4. I haven't been a 4 since I was 3. I haven't. My mom is a 2. I asked her the other day, I said, you a size 6? She said, a size who? No. She's a 2. I went right from baby clothes to a 4. I ain't never been a 2. Never going to be a 2. Only 2 I got is these fingers. Okay? I got 2 eyes, 2 ears. That's that. 2 feet, 2 hands. That's all I got for 2. Be what you were created to be. Now, was I created to be as big as I had gotten? No. So I'm getting healthy. But is my goal to be skinny? No. It's to be healthy. It's to be fit. Wherever that lands, I can assure you it won't be 2 and it ain't going to be an 8. It's not going to be a 12. See what I'm saying? We're going to still be in double digits over here. And we're going to be okay with that. It's gone beyond the friendly rival. We got to keep up with the Joneses. Comparison then starts to creep in every area of your life. Every area of your life. It started, differences are not bad. I like being different. You don't want to marry anybody's clone of you. All your friends shouldn't be your clone. Y'all should have differences. I have friends who are very artistic, can draw and all paint. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler. Differences are by God's design. If you're going to compare, make it fuel joy. What if pretending not to notice that your friend is an excellent homemaker? Why, and excelling in parenthood while you just scraping by? Honor her. Honor them. What if we start observing more closely what it is that they do? And say, you know what, I can do that. That makes sense. This will help me. Rather than, they just think they some over there patty perfect. No. I'm telling you, with the ruler, line still be like this, slanted. What if rather than disdaining the mom, the parent who can't get their act together, what if you had a better way and you offered it to them to help them? Be imitators of me as I am of Christ, not because we think we're better, but because God has really done something profound in us and we're confident he can do it in them too. What if you see someone struggling, instead of saying, I don't know why they don't know how to do that, old as they are? What if say, you know what, let me show you how to do this. Or if you don't know, I've noticed that you're really good at this. Can you help me? Can you help me? Well, leading comparisons in the right direction, away from envy and pride and coveting and self-pity, toward Christ-like imitation? What if you see someone that you know is struggling and they don't know who Christ is? They don't know the way. Well, if you just got saved, well, what does that mean? Because right now, I don't know what that is. And the mean as you're being, I don't think I want to know. See, the Bible assumes that some will be more Christ-like and mature than others. And comparison should not be the thief of joy. If you notice a thing, that doesn't make it a sin. It's a gift. And it doesn't need to lead to your joy being evaporated like water left out for days in the hot sun. But it should be used as water to grow. Imitating something that is holy, that is right, that is good, that is efficient. It's not about copying. It's all right to be a copycat, as my former bishop would say. Bishop would say, as long as you copying the right cat. It's about recognizing Christ-like principles in someone else and how they've applied that to their lives. And maybe you struggled in that area and you thought, bingo, light bulb, that I can do that. It's not about making everybody's voice sound the same, because I know some of y'all really want to sound like me, but we don't all have to sound the same. But getting us all to learn the same song, we just have different parts. It's not about making everything like it's a clone, an identical twin, copy and paste, but training us all in our diversity that we can walk together in the light of Christ. See why you laugh, Jerry? Why you laugh? Make comparison good. I want to be better in this area. If you want to sew and you know someone who does it well, ask them to teach you. Or where you learn to sew. Did you take a class? Did your mom and them teach you? There are things you can do. There are things you can do. You don't have to be like anybody else. Be you. Be you. Be you. Because guess what? No one can beat you being you. And no one can be a better you than you. So why try to be somebody else? Nobody can be a better you than you. Why are you trying to be somebody else? Be who you are. God, what gifts, what talents have you given me? What have you created me to do? Who have you created me to be? Let me do that. You sit in church and you see someone who prays really, really well, and you're like, ooh, I want to pray like that. And then next thing you know, you get up, start trying to sound like them. And then we like, what you doing? Why are you trying to sound like that? We were watching a political speech, and my husband said, why they sound like Obama? I said, because they've been practicing to sound like that. Just sound like yourself. Just sound like yourself. It'll be all right. I know there's a singer somewhere who sounds like me. Just sound like yourself. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and befriend faithfulness. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desire of your heart. But the desire of your heart won't be anything outside of what He has placed in you to desire to begin with. Paul says this in Philippians 4:11 through 12. Oh, y'all trying to clown me today. Not that I'm speaking of being in need, for I've learned in whatever situation I am to be content. I know how to be brought low. I know how to abound. In any and every circumstance, I've learned the secret of facing plenty and hunger, abundance in need. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Do what you've been created to do. You do that the best. And then you don't have to compare with all the social media people who not telling you the truth about how they lost the weight, how they built the muscle. Honey, you did not get a 6-pack, 12-pack ab. Talking about you just ate watermelon. That ain't what you did. Some of y'all buying these 6-packs, taking out ribs and carrying on. They had these little tiny waists. You can't look like Kim Kardashian. She don't look like herself no more. You don't have a full-time nutritionist, a full-time chef, a full-time trainer, a full-time plastic surgeon. Look like you and be beautiful while you're looking. Do nothing from rivalry or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourself. Mm-hmm. But godliness with contentment is a great gain, for we brought nothing in the world and we cannot take anything out of the world. But if we have food and clothing, with these we will be content. But those who desire to be rich fall in temptation, into a snare, into many senseless and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is a root, not the root, is a root of all kinds of evil. It is through this cravings that some have wandered away from the faith and pierced themselves with many pangs, wanting what somebody else had. I can sleep when I'm dead. Well, if you don't get some sleep, you're gonna be dead sooner than you think, because your body needs to sleep. I got to hustle and grind. Daisy, I'm with you. Healthier. That's it. That's all. I want to be healthier and fit. That's it. That's all. Taking no medications. I don't want my arm to keep waving in the wind like a flag on a windy day. I don't want my arm to be waving like a flag. And when I walk, I don't want my body to move like the waves in the ocean. Okay? Extra fat around your gut leads to issues. Heart issues. Can lead to different types of cancer. So I'm seeking to get rid of my stomachs, all of them except one. It was a couple of them, you know. We are getting there day by day, girl, day by day. I tell my trainer tricked me the other day. I said, listen, we doing these 100 on this here ab crunch machine at 100 pounds. We're doing 100. And I looked down. I said, why are these last 20 so heavy? This joker had moved it up to 110. He said, oh, you've been doing 110 the whole time. You just didn't know it because you weren't doing your usual scouting. So the other day, I said, okay, I know I can do 110. I can do 100 at 110. But this is crazy. I said, we're not going up to 120. If y'all know in the little machines, they had the little tiny weights that you can move over. I didn't notice he had moved all three of them. He said, oh, you was doing 117 and a half pounds. What? He said, well, you said you didn't want going to 120. You didn't say you wouldn't do 117 and a half. He told me, but look, you did it. I remember you was complaining about going to 100 pounds, but you just did it. If you don't get away from me, Kim, they tricky. They but I did them 100 crunches. and all the other torturous stuff. Do nothing. And then this, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. If you do that, you won't have time to compare yourself with others. Here's how I know some people have fallen to comparison. Jerry, you will appreciate this. Tasha, you will too. There was a man in the gym, and he had, the ski mask that in the cold, and all you see is eyes. He had one of those on. And then he had this Velcro thing going around his head like this. And he had these hooks. And he had a kettlebell, a 5-pound kettlebell hanging on it from his neck while he was with these chains connected with a 5-pound kettlebell on his neck while he was working out. I looked over there. Travis said, AJ said, don't even say nothing. Just keep over here, because I don't know what that is. He's going to hurt himself. Why do you have a 5-pound kettlebell hanging off your neck? Because you're trying to compare yourself with some of the other people who are big and bulky, and you want to be that, and you're going to hurt yourself. Comparison. I kid y'all not, it was a 5-pound kettlebell, and he had these chains, and it was hanging right under his neck here. It was just the craziest thing I'd ever seen. Comparison. Do what you do. Was looking definitely crazy. Do what you do. Do that well. Perfect that gift. So above all, guard the affections of your heart. And so when we think about that, here's someone who never compared themselves to anyone. When Jesus came into the world, he knew why he came. He knew what his purpose was. He did what he was called to do. And that alone. And because of that, he didn't compare himself to anybody else. He didn't compare himself. He knew his purpose. He knew what it meant to fulfill that purpose. And so he said, I'm going to do the will of the Father. He absolutely going to walk around. He probably can't turn his head and neck. I ain't seen him since. That's the first time I saw him and hadn't seen him since. Jesus understood he came to die. He didn't come to be God. He didn't come to compare himself to John the Baptist. He didn't come to compare himself, nor would he allow them to compare themselves or him. He paid the ultimate price and the ultimate sacrifice so that you and I could live, and we would have life, and we would have it abundantly, and that whoever would believe in him would have eternal life. And so in all of that, never once did he say, while you are here, I need you to compare yourself with someone else who is here. I came that you would have life and that you would have it abundantly. I came that whoever believed in me would have eternal life. I came to restore what had been lost. And so you need to remember that as we take communion, Jesus didn't compare himself to anybody. He didn't. Nor did he want us to, because we're made in his image and according to his likeness. So who else are we going to compare ourselves to? Because they made in the same image and likeness as you. They're made in the same image and likeness of the same God, Father, Holy Spirit that you are. Now, some may not know that yet, but they are. So why am I comparing myself to you when we got the same Father, made in the same image? Each of us has individual gifts, and he knew you before you were born, like he knew me before I was born, and he gave each of us a gift. And so as he took bread and he sat with his boys, he took bread and he gave thanks. And then he broke it. And then he shared it. See, insecure folk don't share. He shared it. And he said, "This is my body, it's given for you. Do this in remembrance of me. You may eat." And then he took the cup after they had eaten. And he said to them, "This right here is poured out for you. It's the new covenant in my blood." So you don't have to worry about, am I with you? Am I for you? This is the new covenant of my blood, and it's for you. And it's shed for the forgiveness of sin. So the sins that you're going to commit, the sins that you have committed, it's shed for that. So I don't need to compare myself. Am I good enough to be forgiven? God, why you forgave them and not me? No, the same blood was shed for all of us. Even the one who betrayed. Mm-hmm. And as often as you do it, as often as you do this as often as you drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as you eat this bread and drink this cup, you proclaim the Lord's death until he comes. You may drink. And so we are reminded, you don't have to compare yourself to anybody. Be you. Be the you that God created you to be. Wonderful and special, marvelous and good, gifted and talented, amazing and fabulous. Amen. Amen. Y'all have an amazing rest of your day. Be blessed. Stay safe. And if you need to, stay off social media. Don't be comparing yourself to them people. They're not real. They lying. Jerry, tell Donna to check her email. I forgot to tell y'all that. Y'all have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye. Hey, Shane. Shane likes my singing. Fearfully and wonderfully made. Yes.